All right, so I'm just going to go over what happened in the ES, the very clear accumulation base that was it was very high probability, etc., etc. It's also like potential spring position, but this is the downtrend that was occurring. So I mean, basically, supply came in right here, made a lower low, continued to go lower, and the puke fest began. So we'll just mark this. That's the start of the downtrend. And you see that most of the rallies are 100, 200, 100, 200. As it comes over here, right about here, the down move accelerates right here, and then after that here, accelerated in terms of volume. There is one indication that there's an issue. That indication is by you have more volume but less you have less thrust, and it's pretty significant. Why? You see all this thrust, 17 volume produced 6 units of thrust. This 24 volume produced only 4 units of thrust. All right, so the thrust is shortening while the volume is increasing, and the reason is that there was buying within that down wave right there, where it was 15,000 contracts buying within that down wave. As it's making that low, buyers are stepping in, so they're buying the down wave. You could also tell because the highest volume is near the lows. It's not near the highs. So it's not like you're selling right off the top. It's buying off the lows. After that, the thrust shortened. After that, demand stepped in, but from a price perspective, meaning it made a slightly higher high, and there was some buying here. Still not enough to say the market has turned, because it can redistribute. You never know. It can just continue lower. It has to break trend. I mean, it has to create an uptrend. And this right here is when you know for a fact that the trend is up. This is the final confirmation that trend is up. First of all, because as the price went down, there's a lot of effort and no reward right here on this 8,000 contracts. I mean, 8,000 contracts right at the low trying to break through. It couldn't do it. Right at that low, 8,000 contracts coming in. But they can't break it. Why is that? Well, because someone's holding this level. This bag holding right there. So then you have this rally 250, and then finally here, where the volume is excessive. I mean, this is the 11th biggest volume there is, and it breaks out, meaning you have BO right there, says breaks out. Right? So now it's a matter of just a pullback, getting in on it, and that's it. So it goes down to the level near that 8,000 and reverses on 5,000 contracts up. So I mean, it's very clear that you have Forex folks would call it break of structure right here. Wyckoff would call it accumulation, and he would call this a climax. And let me tell you how you read it, not what you see on YouTube where it's this they don't know what they're labeling, because they're going through the sequence of climax, automatic rally, secondary test, then this another secondary test, LPF. It's just, here's the climax. How do you know? Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Look at the thrust. Are you? That's the biggest volume there is on wave perspective on a down wave. Then the test that tries to break through, look at that volume. It went from 24 to 6. Then the retest is only 8. So these are the tests. These are the attempts to break that try to go lower that fail. So these are the tests, the attempts to go lower. The immediate attempt to go lower after the 24 was only 8. So all of these are tests. And then finally, when volume does expand, it goes the other way. Why? Because it's bag holding. Why? Because the market wants to go higher, not lower. In any case, that's the situation, and that's what happens. So this is like a really nice, call it a study of accumulation. But if you want to learn accumulation, this is how it looks. There's no it's not rocket science. Meaning there's climax, there are tests, there's a lot of times there's a spring somewhere there too, and and then you have a spring or shortening of the thrust, and then you have the bulls come in, and then they pull back, volume dries up. As you can see, it's the lowest volume is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there is that test on very little volume, and then finally a confirmation higher high. So you want to label this, it would be climax, all of this are tests, and a change of behavior, a sign of strength is here. I don't know why I can't move it. I don't know. And then the breakout is right there, it's labeled, and there's another spring right here from which reaccumulation on a minor basis occurred, making a higher high on biggest price volume activity, biggest volume in 27 waves, biggest price action in 49 waves. I mean, that it's in markup. So now you have accumulation, LPS, and then it goes into markup. Done. Thank you.